तर गाईज मी लाईव्ह जाणार आहे, म्हणजे मी लाईव्ह गेलेलो आहे. तर गाईज फक्त 1 minute 55 सेकंड राहिलेले आहे. तर गाईज हे सूर्याच्या L1 लेअर पर्यंत जाणार आहे, जो आदित्य L1. तर गाईज तुम्ही हे बघू शकता. तर गाईज मी ह्याला अजून प्रो करतो. तर गाईज हे फुल क्लिअर आता झालेला आहे.
You are being taught here about Aditya L1. What do you understand? Just tell me in a short sentence.
तर गाईज हे फुल क्लिअर झालेला आहे.
L1 range means line range of sun.
11:15 झालेले आहे गाईज.
There is zero gravity in that, and it will maintain the same. If it will go around the sun, then how it can pass message to Earth, and if it will be in the median, and it can cancel. Which class are you in? I'm also in 8th standard. I understood that the Aditya L1 mission will study about the sun, the outermost layer also, and this is it is for 109 days. So the mission will be will take about 127 to more days to reach. But just want to talk to a few more children before I toss back to you. What is the message you want to send to our Indian scientists who are constantly working on new mission?
We are very proud to be Indian. Before the establishment of ISRO, the New York published a message, means image type. In that image, it showed that Indian scientists are nothing in front of NASA institution, and they are going to join the NASA institution.
तर गाईज हे लाईव्ह आपण गेलेलं आहे
Whatever we want, we have
आदित्य L1 समोर. तर गाईज तुम्ही इथं बघू शकता, इथं आपल्याला आदित्य L1 आणि हे इन्फॉर्मेशन देत आहे.
One knows India's progress when it comes to launching missions now into space, and of course that little child also knew the kind of work that India has now done to reach, or not to, we want to reach an elite club.
तर गाईज इथं आदित्य L1 आहे, आणि हे स्कूलमध्ये इन्फॉर्मेशन देतात की आदित्य L1 कसा लॉन्च होणार आहे, तसं त्याची काही
about India's sun mission.
It's absolutely incredible. Young minds, ignited minds, expressing their pride about ISRO.
So guys, please like करा आणि subscribe करा.
Is something that cannot be replicated. It's something that is going to have so many benefits going into the future, making India more than just the kind of space power that already is, but
so guys,
something
camera
that
हालत असून तर
is
sorry.
seen to want to be emulated even by the big established space powers like the United States, Europe, Russia, and others. I'm going to stay live with these pictures. I don't want to move away from these pictures now because it's 11:70, just over half hour to go, just over half hour to go for that launch. So I don't want, that's a live, the pictures you see on my screen right now are the live pictures. These are live, unedited pictures from the launch site at the Satish Dhawan Space Center, and I don't want our viewers to miss even a moment of that. So I'm going to keep those pictures on our screen, and I'm going to get you some of the latest reactions and sound bites we've gotten here on our coverage. Listen.
तर गाईज माझ्या अंदाजी आदित्य L1 11:20 ला लॉन्च होणार आहे. तर गाईज इथं टाइम आहे आता 11:18 झालेले आहे.
So it is getting ready, so that will happen mostly by October, first or second week. After that, we will have launch of GSLV Mark 2 GSLV launch.
तर गाईज आपण आदित्य L1 ची लाईव्ह गेलेलो आहे.
Then we will have launch of SSLV D3. Okay. Then
तर गाईज इथं टाइम आहे,
then we will have launch of
इथं 0:31 सात टाइम आलेला होता.
Just a moment what the India Today cover looks like very, very proud to show you the new India Today magazine cover, which is a tribute to India's space heroes. I'll have that on your screen in just a couple of minutes from now. But pictures live on your screen of the Satish Dhawan Space Center, where that PSLV C5 rocket will be blasting off 30 minutes from now. Very, very crucial time. In 10 minutes from now, the live commentary will begin from the ISRO, and I'm of course going to shut up completely so all of our viewers can listen to that, without any interruptions and without any distractions. That's a promise from India Today's site that you'll be able to hear all the sounds coming in from ISRO.
तर गाइस तुम्ही बघू शकता आपण लाईव्ह आहे. आता हे सूर्ययान म्हणजे लॉन्च होणार आहे.
This is what the launch pad looks like right now, viewer. Live pictures of the launch pad. Everything is set. Only final touch personnel are on site to conduct last minute inspections before all humans move away from the site for the final blast. 40 minutes to go for that mission to begin. It's going to take 1 hour for the rocket to push the Aditya L1 into low Earth orbit, and then it begins a 120-day, 4-month journey towards what is called the Lagrange 1 point, which is about 1.5 million kilometers between the Earth and the Sun. Not close to the Sun at all, but far closer to the Sun than we are here on Earth. Pramod's got the real view that everyone wants. And he's like a place which has a beautiful vantage point where you're going to be able to see that the blast off taking place against India's eastern coast sky. Pramod, no turning back now. Everything locked and loaded. Okay, we go back to Pramod. I think there's some audio issues, but we're still going to stay with these pictures. What you're seeing on your screen right now, you can see one clear image. That's the outside camera showing you what's going on. The slightly more blurry grey images, viewer, are images taken from the telemetry and data screens inside ISRO, and that's why camera to camera they look a little blurred, but those are crystal clear images that our scientists, men and women of ISRO, are receiving live from the launch pad. Let's just listen to some of the audio coming in.
और इसके बाद रोवर ने पृथ्वी से 3,80,000 किलोमीटर दूर चंद्रमा पर विचरण कर भारत की अमिट छाप छोड़ी है। इसके साथ ही भारत चंद्रमा के दक्षिणी ध्रुव पर सकुशल उतरने वाला विश्व का पहला देश बन चुका है। यह सब संभव हो पाया है इसरो के कुशल मार्गदर्शन और वैज्ञानिकों के अथक प्रयास से, लेकिन ये तो सिर्फ शुरुआत है। इसरो तेजो में सूर्य के अध्ययन के प्रयोजन से आदित्य L1 नामक अंतरिक्ष यान को आज 2 सितंबर 2023 को श्रीहरिकोटा के द्वितीय प्रमोशन से भारतीय मानक समय के अनुसार सुबह 11:50 पर PSLV C57 रॉकेट द्वारा प्रमोशित करेगा। आइए चलिए सूर्य की ओर और विज्ञान के कुछ और रहस्यों से पर्दा उठाने और वैज्ञानिक तकनीक का प्रदर्शन करने। तो बने रहिए हमारे साथ आज के इस मिशन में, जिसका नाम है PSLV C57 आदित्य L1 मिशन।
Namaste viewers. The Indian Space Research Organization is gearing for its rendezvous with the Sun. To take you along on the live telecast of this momentous event today, I am Madhuri, giving the commentary in English. With me is my co-commentator Shivika Swarnkar, who will be giving the commentary in Hindi. We are about to script yet another chapter in the glorious space research history of India. Today, the workhorse rocket PSLV C57 will carry Aditya L1, the solar observatory of India, to be placed at a vantage point where it will be able to continuously observe the sun and by being in the visibility of Earth-based ground stations. 10 days ago, India became the first country in the world to safely land a spacecraft in the South Polar regions on the moon. I'm sure many of you were the eager and proud spectators of the Chandrayaan-3 landing that was being telecast from ISRO, situated in Bangalore.
Roger.
We bring to you an integration film for the PSLV C57 that took place in Satish Dhawan Space Center, Shahar, Sriharikota.
You just saw pictures of Dr. Somnath and senior scientists from the Aditya L1 project, or who were on your screen just a moment ago. These are pictures, of course, from earlier in the preparations of the Aditya L1 and the rocket that's going to be taking it towards the sun. But the ISRO commentary will be starting, has already started as a matter of fact, and will be on until the launch, and so we're going to say live on that. Pramod Madhav is back with us. I hope he can hear me. Pramod, you're going to have the best view in the room of this big blast off. Looks like everything is locked and loaded. Dr. Somnath in live pictures was just visible to us briefly. He looked busy. I'm sure we'll get a chance to speak to him a little later.
357 एक्सेल मिशन तो इसमें है
Absolutely, and yes, we do have the best view. In fact, that's behind me.
25 minutes झालेला आहे आदित्य L1 ला launch
DPS
होण्यासाठी.
LBC-57, fully loaded with the Aditya L1, completely loaded with all the required fuel, and is ready for launch. And just from 20-30 minutes, we are going to see it soar up the sky. And this is one point we saw the magnificent LB-M3 soar up as well. And you could see that even the skies were pretty clear. And we are hopeful and waiting for a brilliant launch from here. ISRO scientists have also stated that whatever parameters, weather parameters that are required have all been good so far, and that's the reason they chose to stay, especially 11:50 a.m. as a time period. And then you see the rocket is ready to be launched here.
Rocket is completely ready to be launched. In
The
these
next 24
pictures on the
minutes,
ISRO screen,
20
the sky
seconds
is
are
clear. I
left.
can guarantee you the sky is absolutely blue. It's a beautifully sunny day, and the sun is the destination for this rocket that's going to be blasting off, carrying the Aditya L1 spacecraft. $45 million is the cost of this entire mission. Less than half of what the next most expensive project of this kind has actually cost its space agency. So all eyes are now on the launch pad, this camera fixed on the launch pad from where in just a few minutes from now, it's 23 minutes to go for the launch, the liftoff of the PSL BC-5 rocket carrying the Aditya L1 launch, putting India in an amazing exclusive club. And I'm bringing Sneha back in on the coverage as well. Sneha, of just a few countries that have attempted something like this. The United States, of course, has far more advanced missions. In fact, in 2021, their Parker probe, managed to briefly touch the sun's corona itself, which is a very advanced achievement. But what India has done is only take that next step in the exploration of the sun, and that's the picture we're looking at right now, the beginnings of that.
Well, absolutely, and Shiv, look at the kind of enthusiasm that really stands out as far as these developments from ISRO and how they delighted the entire country, first with the Chandrayaan-3 mission and now with Aditya L1 mission. I think essentially the scientists are concerned that Professor Somnath's enthusiasm and the confidence really comes through. Also, Shiv, the very fact that scientists have been talking about the kind of boost these missions have got with the Modi government essentially at the center. So, talking to us a little about what has been said about the very fact that financially the aid has been pouring in as far as ISRO is concerned. It does look like, Shiv, in the next few days and the weeks to come, like Professor Somnath Shiv was pointing out, we have a lot of things in the pipeline, isn't it? With the first test vehicle also for Gaganyaan almost, which is going to be pretty much by the second week of October. Sure.
Absolutely. The ISRO has its hands absolutely full. The viewing areas in Sriharikota, near Sriharikota, which happens to be the Tirupati district of Andhra Pradesh. You can see there, this is the spectating area where large crowds are already gathered. They do this every time there's a rocket launch by ISRO. And why not? If you have a beautiful view of an amazing element in India's space dreams, why wouldn't you be there? It's a beautiful sunny day, people out there with their umbrellas, crisp sunny days. You can see in these live pictures from the launch pad, So we're all waiting now. 20 minutes to go for that launch. We're going to stay exclusively on these pictures. You can see Dr. Somnath and others in some of these live pictures are coming in. I don't have control over what these cameras are showing you because this is ISRO's live feed that we've got for you here. Unedited live pictures coming in. Let's just get the sound up and listen to some of that ISRO commentary.
देखा जा सकता है चैनल 2 at T-20 minutes. No confirmation is यह अंतरिक्षयान विद्युत चुंबकीय और कण चुंबकीय क्षेत्र सूचकांकों का उपयोग करके फोटोस्फीयर, क्रोमोस्फीयर और सूर्य के सबसे बाहरी परत जिसे हम कोरोना के नाम से जानते हैं, इनका निरीक्षण करने के लिए इसमें 7 निदभार लगे हुए हैं। इनमें से 4 निदभार सीधे सूर्य की गतिकी का अध्ययन करेंगे तथा अन्य 3 निदभार L1 बिंदु पर कणों और क्षेत्रों का यथास्थिति अध्ययन करेंगे। इस तरह आदित्य L1 उपग्रह के निदभार कोरोनल तापन, कोरोनल मास इजेक्शन, प्री फ्लेयर और फ्लेयर गतिविधियों और उनकी विशेषताओं और अंतरिक्ष मौसम की गतिशीलता को समझने के लिए अत्यधिक महत्वपूर्ण जानकारी प्रदान करेंगे। अब आपके सामने प्रस्तुत है आदित्य L1 कर्टेन रेजर।
The PSLV C-57 is prepared to launch the 1,480 kg Aditya L1 spacecraft into Earth-bound orbit, from which it will be placed into a halo orbit around the L1 point in 4 months. The satellite is intended to study the Sun and how it impacts the heliosphere. The Sun, which is the center of our solar system and has always fascinated humans, is a ball of hot gases formed by the nuclear fusion process. The visible outer surface of the Sun is known as the photosphere, followed by the nuclear fusion process. The visible outer surface of the Sun is known as the photosphere.
गाइस अजून 20 मिनिट्स राहिलेले आहे आदित्य L1 लॉन्च व्हायला गाइस तुम्ही इथं टाइम बघू शकता 11:30 झालेला आहे 11:30 AM
The sun's temperature abruptly rises in the corona, reaching extremely high values of 1 to 3 million Kelvin. The Aditya L1 mission has 7 scientific payloads to conduct a comprehensive study of the sun. The Visible Emission Line Coronagraph, VELC, investigates the solar corona and the dynamics of coronal mass ejections. The Solar Ultraviolet Imaging Telescope, SOOT payload, scans the solar disk in near ultraviolet light and detects fluctuations in solar irradiance. The Aditya Solar Wind Particle Experiment, ASPEX, and Plasma Analyzer Package for Aditya Papa payloads investigate the solar wind and energetic ions, as well as their energy distributions. The Solar Low Energy X-ray Spectrometer, SOLAR-Nexus, and the High Energy L1 Orbiting X-ray Spectrometer, Helios, analyze X-rays from the Sun over a 1 energy range. The magnetometer payload is designed to measure the interplanetary magnetic field at the L1 point. Aditya L1 is equipped to take in situ measurements of charged particles and fields at L1 and is dedicated to studying the Sun across several energy bands. The Lagrange point L1 is located at around 1.5 million kilometers from the Earth, between the Sun and the Earth. These observations are best made from a vantage point that provides a continuous view of the Sun. All payloads are designed in close coordination with ISRO centers and national laboratories like as IIA, IUCAA and PRL. With this mission, ISRO will once again demonstrate its position in space exploration.
We are 17 minutes 23 seconds from the launch time. The countdown for PSLV C-57 Aditya L1 mission has been 24 hours long. It had started yesterday. During the countdown, critical activities have been carried out on the launch vehicle and the spacecraft. The propellant have been serviced into the launch vehicle stages. The bottles storing the gases for command and control operations have been charged to pre-launch pressure levels. The onboard batteries have been charged. Now in a little while we will go to the automatic launch sequence initiation, for which the preparations are underway in the launch and mission control centers.
ROD to Mission Director, range is ready for PWC 57 Aditya L1 mission. Mission Director Roger, TTC Director to Mission Director, all TTC Director confirms readiness of all distract stations and network for supporting
अभी आपने सुना
Aditya L1 mission. Mission Director Roger,
निदेशक तथा निदेशक ने अपने तंत्रों की सूचना मिशन निदेशक को दे दी है। इसके पश्चात
T-16 minutes and
सभी आंकड़े संतोषजनक होने पर
Mission Readiness Review and Launch Authorization Board have already given clearance for proceeding with the countdown and launch of PSLV C-57 Aditya L1 mission. All operations in the countdown sequence till automatic launch sequence have been completed satisfactorily. Based on the clearance obtained from launch vehicle, spacecraft, range, and dispatch network
15 minutes 5 सेकंड राहिलेले आहे आपल्या आदित्य L1 लॉन्च
Mission Director
होण्यासाठी।
hereby authorizes to initiate launch operation sequence for the launch of PSLV C-57 Aditya L1 mission at 11:50 hours IST today. That is 2nd September 2023.
All stations to note, Mission Director has
for the launch of PSLV C-57 Aditya L1 mission.
14 मिनिट 18 सेकंड राहिलेले आहे गाईज।
PSLV C-57 Aditya L1 mission.
The automatic launch sequence, the initiation has been announced, and hereafter a very critical capsule of performance validation for the launch vehicle systems will be carried out, and very close to the launch time, control will be passed on to the onboard computers.
जी हाँ, ऑटोमेटिक लॉन्च सीक्वेंस चालू हो चुका है। ALS शुरू होने के पश्चात रॉकेट स्वचालित होकर सर्वप्रथम T-0.3 सेकंड्स पर RC का प्रज्वलन शुरू करेगा और T0 पर कोर बूस्टर S139 का प्रज्वलन शुरू होगा। लेकिन इस दौरान स्वचालित तरीके से सभी जांच जारी रखे हुए हैं।
PS2 power system, throttle chain, actuator,
On your TV screen, Honorable Minister of State for Science and Technology at Prime Minister's Office, Dr. Jitendra Singh. This mission is the 91st launch mission of ISRO and 59th of workhorse PSLV. As mentioned earlier, PSLV's XL version with 6 strap-on motors alongside the core S139 motor is being used for the present mission. This is the 85th time PSLV XL is getting ready for launch. So far in the year 2023, ISRO has launched SSLV's maiden successful mission, 2 commercial missions of PSLV, 1 mission of GSLV carrying the first among second generation of navigation satellites, 1 commercial mission of LVM-3 and another mission of LVM-3 again, carrying the prestigious Chandrayaan-3 spacecraft.
PS4 control system actuation in progress.
minutes 5 seconds।
आदित्य L1 जो कि एक अंतरिक्ष यान है इस मिशन का, इसको पृथ्वी से 233 बाई 19,500 किलोमीटर की निम्न भूकक्षा में 19.2 डिग्री के झुकाव के साथ अंतक्षेपित किया जाएगा। इस कक्षा में निर्धारित आर्ग्यूमेंट ऑफ जी 346.6 डिग्री को प्राप्त करने के लिए PSLV के चतुर्थ चरण को 2 बार प्रज्वलित कर इसे प्राप्त किया जाएगा। आर्ग्यूमेंट ऑफ फ्रैक्शन असेंडिंग मोड और पेरिफेरी के बीच के कोण है जिसे कक्षीय तल के साथ मापा जाता है। आदित्य L1 के इस दीर्घाकार कक्षा में अंतक्षेपण के पश्चात उचित समय पर और उचित अभिवृद्धि में अंतरिक्षयान में लगे लिक्विड अपोजी मोटर्स को फायर कर कक्षांतरण किया जाएगा और इस तरह 5वीं बार में LM मोटर को फायर कर यान को पृथ्वी की प्रभावी क्षेत्र से बाहर निकलने में समुचित गति प्राप्त की जाएगी। फिर वह पृथ्वी की कक्षा से छोड़कर सूर्य की कक्षा में प्रवेश करेगा और ऐसा करते हुए यह करीब 125 दिनों का समय लगेगा। 125 दिनों बाद यह L1 पॉइंट के पास पहुंचकर और उसकी परिक्रमा करना शुरू कर देगा और यही वो L1 पॉइंट है जहां पर से यह अपने वैज्ञानिक उद्देश्यों का भी प्रतिपादन करेगा। अब हम उड़ान से 11 मिनट की दूरी पर।
Let me in the meantime tell the viewers about the flight events that the launch of PSLV C-57 Aditya L1 will take. This mission is among the longest flights of PSLV. It is going to last for 63 minutes and 19 seconds. The liftoff coincides with the ignition of core S-139 solid rocket motor and the ignition of the 4 ground-lift strap-ons. While the rocket is at 2.7 kilometers altitude, the 2 air-lift strap-ons also commence their operation. The action time of strap-on motors is 70 seconds and the ground-lift and air-lift strap-ons are separated from the ongoing launch vehicle at 70 and 92 seconds into the flight, respectively. The core S-139 motor continues to thrust till 110 seconds. Since the second stage of PSLV operates on pressure-fed liquid engine, the optimal performance of the engine is ensured if the effect thrust cutoff or separation of the lower stage is countered by additional means of thrust generation. Therefore, the alleged motors provided for this purpose ignite 3 seconds before the first stage separation and continue to thrust for 11 seconds. The second stage, PS2, commences its operation 200 milliseconds after separation of first stage. By this time, the rocket would have attained 55 kilometers altitude. The closed loop guidance is initiated, which compares the present state of rocket to the intended injection point to compute an optimal trajectory. This happens while the rocket is at 59.7 kilometers altitude. At 204 seconds into the flight, the payload fairing is separated. As the launch vehicle attains 113 kilometers altitude and the dense atmosphere is no longer present around. These events are taking place in the operational regime of the second stage, which lasts for 153 seconds. PS2 was separated 262.4 seconds into flight at an altitude of 130 kilometers, while the relative velocity is 4.9 kilometers per second. The third stage, PS3, ignites about a second later and burns for 118 seconds, during which time it adds 12 kilometers to the altitude and enhances relative velocity tremendously from 4.9 kilometers per second to 7.3 kilometers per second. There is a coast phase of 200 seconds that follow PS3 burnout, during which there is no thrust being developed, but the rocket continues to be steered. At 581 seconds into the flight, the PS3 separates and lasts in the fourth stage of the rocket, together with the Aditya L1 spacecraft, coasts for a long time thereafter. Till 1396 seconds into flight, the tracking station sets Sharport, Blade Brunei and back will be acquiring the real-time performance data of the flight. But thereafter, there is no visibility period of around 1600 seconds or 27 minutes. The fourth stage burns twice. First time for a duration of 30 seconds and second time for a duration of 472 seconds. The first burn takes place in no visibility zone and the second burn is tracked by a shipborne terminal placed in Pacific Ocean. About 200 seconds after the completion of second burn of PS4, the injection conditions for the separation of Aditya L1 are expected to be achieved. An altitude of 648.7 kilometers
T minus 7 minutes.
and a relative velocity of 8.9 kilometers per second, which translates into an orbit of 235 by 19,500 kilometers. The injection event of Aditya L1 will be confirmed by tracking station at Koru. From the initial placement in low Earth orbit, Aditya L1 will undergo a series of earthbound orbit raising and eventually it will exit Earth's sphere of influence to reach Lagrange's point L1 in a journey spanning over 4 months. There it will be placed in a halo orbit around L1. This is how India's first observatory class space-based solar mission will take shape.
So guys, 5 minutes 43 seconds.
अब हम उड़ान से 6 मिनट की दूरी पर हैं। ALS जारी है, सभी जांच सुचारू रूप से जारी है। इस दौरान यहाँ उपस्थित आप देखिए, यहाँ व्यूअर्स गैलरी पे, लॉन्च गैलरी पे उपस्थित जन आक्रोश, इनका रोमांच देखते ही बनता है। इतनी मौसम यहाँ लगभग 37 डिग्री का टेम्परेचर है, वायु गति 0.8 मीटर पर सेकेंड। इन सब के बावजूद यहाँ उपस्थित हुए हैं इस रोमांच को देखने के लिए। एयर ट्रैफिक कंट्रोलर और मौसम विभाग की अनुमति भी प्राप्त की जा चुकी है। विभिन्न ऊंचाई पर वायु गति माप ली गई है और इसे ऑनबोर्ड कंप्यूटर पर लोड कर दिया गया है।
The Satish Dhawan Space Center has its own meteorology department which keeps a very close watch on the weather at the launch base. Weather today is going to be dry and hot. The skies will remain clear. Ground winds will be benign and above winds also are benign for the flight of PSLV C-57 Aditya L1 mission.
So guys, 4 minutes remaining.
We have 4 minutes, 23 seconds to launch.
सभी वैज्ञानिक अपने कंसोल पर आंकड़े देखते हुए
3 minutes
सभी
remaining.
तंत्र सामान्य निष्पादन कर रहे हैं। अब हम 4 मिनट की दूरी पर हैं उड़ान से।
T minus 4 minutes and counting.
सामान्यतः PSLV के मिशन लगभग 2000 सेकेंड में प्राप्त कर लिए जाते हैं, लेकिन यह मिशन कुछ अलग है। इस मिशन में PSLV के चतुर्थ चरण यानी PS4 को 2 बार में प्रज्वलित कर यह उद्दिष्ट कक्षा प्राप्त की जाएगी। इसका मतलब PS4 को प्रथम कोस्टिंग फेज के बाद प्रज्वलित किया जाएगा, फिर 30 सेकंड प्रज्वलित रहकर यह हो जाएगा, फिर करीब 1600 सेकंड की कोस्टिंग फेज जारी रहेगी। तत्पश्चात फिर से PS4 को प्रज्वलित कर 472 सेकंड प्रणोद उत्पन्न किया जाएगा और फिर शांत हो जाएगा। आदित्य L के कक्षा की स्थिति प्राप्त होते ही उसे निर्दिष्ट कक्षा में अंतर्क्षेपित किया जाएगा। इस तरह पूरे मिशन में लगभग 3800 सेकंड का समय लगेगा।
T minus 3 minutes and counting.
यह PSLV C-57 का प्रमोशन यान ट्रैकिंग के संदर्भ में भी काफी जटिल है। इसे ट्रैक करने के लिए शॉर्ट, पोर्ट ब्लेयर, ब्रूने और बैक स्थित ग्राउंड स्टेशन हमें वास्तविक समय पे यान की जानकारी उपलब्ध कराते रहेंगे। लेकिन चतुर्थ चरण के प्रज्वलन के समय यान हमारे ग्राउंड स्टेशन की दृष्टि से दूर जा चुका होगा, इसलिए शिपबोर्न ट्रैकिंग या शिपबोर्न टर्मिनल को दक्षिणी पैसिफिक महासागर में स्थित किया गया है। वह हमें PS4 बर्न 1 और बर्न 2 की जानकारी उपलब्ध कराएगा। इसके बाद PS को शट ऑफ और आदित्य L1 के अंतरिक्ष केबल की पुष्टि कुरु फ्रेंच गयाना स्थित ग्राउंड स्टेशन से की जाएगी।
T-minus 2 minutes and counting.
उड़ान से 1 मिनट 50 सेकंड की दूरी पर यह PSLV की 59वीं उड़ान होगी और इस PSLV एक्सेल संस्करण यह 25वीं उड़ान है। इसरो के वर्क हॉर्स कहे जाने वाले इस रॉकेट कई ऐतिहासिक मिशन को सफलतापूर्वक संपन्न किया है, जिसमें चंद्रयान 1 और मार्स ऑर्बिटर मिशन उल्लेखनीय है। यह प्रमोशन वर्ष 2023 का 7वां मिशन होगा। इस साल की शुरुआत में SSLV के सफल प्रमोशन से शुरुआत कर LVM-3 के 2 प्रमोशन, GSLV Mark 2 का 1 और PSLV के 2 सफल प्रमोशन हो चुके हैं। यह PSLV का वर्तमान वर्ष में 3रा मिशन है।
All stations stand by for the timer. T-minus 1 minute
तर
and
गाइस
counting.
1 मिनिट राहिलेले आहे. 57, 56, 55, 54, 53, 52, 51.
Minus 50 seconds.
तर गाइस फक्त काही सेकंड राहिलेले आहे की सूर्ययान
सामने रहिए।
म्हणजे आदित्य L1 लॉन्च व्हायला फक्त काही सेकंड राहिलेले
40
आहे.
seconds.
प्रमोशन किया जाएगा।
Minus 35 seconds.
35 सेकंड राहिलेले आहे.
Minus 30 seconds.
28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21,
30 seconds.
20 सेकंड राहिलेले आहे.
Minus 15 seconds.
माइनस 50 सेकंड राहिलेले आहे.
2,
1,
0.
0. तर गाइस आपला आदित्य L1 लॉन्च होतोय.
Lift off normal.
Magnificent
तर गाइस तुम्ही बघू शकता आदित्य L1
with Aditya L1 on board.
Plus 15 seconds.
PSLV
गाइस आदित्य L1 लॉन्च झालेला आहे.
स्थापन और इसके साथ प्रथम भारतीय सौर अंतरिक्ष
गाइस
यान
आदित्य
निकल
L1
चुका है
आहे.
सूर्य के तेज से विज्ञान को प्रकाश करने।
Air lead strap on ignite.
तर गाइस आदित्य L1 सक्सेसफुली लॉन्च झालेला आहे.
रही है सफर में भारत की उपस्थिति सिद्ध करने का। आप देख रहे हैं PSLV C57 प्रथम चरण पूरी तरह सामान्य।
The rocket flying forth, following nominal trajectory and developing.
तर गाइस सॉरी थोडं काय झालेलं आहे त्याच्यामुळे तर गाइस काहीतरी झालं थांबा गाइस मी लगेच कनेक्ट करतो. तर गाइस सॉरी 1 मिनिट फक्त.
एक 4756 अपने रजिस्टर्ड मोबाइल नंबर से
Lit and airlit strap-ons.
तर गाइस सॉरी आता परत आपण आलेलो आहे. आपला आदित्य L1 इथे आहे.
Ground lead strap on separated.
जैसा कि निर्धारित है ग्राउंड लेड स्ट्रैप-ऑन को सेपरेट कर दिया गया है
Normal.
और प्रथम चरण का निष्पादन सामान्य है। इस घटनाक्रम में अगला एयरलेट स्ट्रैप-ऑन को यान से पृथक कर दिया जाएगा।
Air lead strap on separated.
जी हाँ, इसकी भी पुष्टि हो गई है। स्ट्रैप-ऑन को सफलतापूर्वक पृथक कर दिया गया है।
We
So
are
guys, अपना
in
आदित्य L1
launch
इतना है।
time. The ground lit and air lit strap-ons have been separated. S139 motor still thrusting.
S139 110 सेकंड के प्रज्वलन काल के पश्चात उसे भी पृथक कर दिया गया है।
Plus 2 minutes.
द्वितीय चरण जो कि तरल नोदक पर आधारित चरण है, इसका प्रज्वलन शुरू हो चुका है और वर्तमान में प्रणोद उत्पन्न कर रहा है।
Performance normal.
The launch vehicle is at an altitude of 73 kilometers First stage has been separated, second stage has begun its operation, and the closed loop guidance has been initiated. According to the announcement by Range Operations Director, 2 is developing nominal thrust.
तो गाइस इथे आदित्य
PS2
एल1 आहे म्हणजे
41 टन
जातो
के तरल नोदक पर आधारित चरण है। इसमें विकास इंजन द्वारा 800 किलो न्यूटन का प्रोटोन उत्पन्न होता है और इसका प्रज्वलन काल लगभग 150 सेकंड का होगा।
Shah and Port Blair's tracking stations presently acquiring signals. Flight path closely matching the prediction.
Plus 3
गाइस
minutes.
आदित्य एल1 असं लॉन्च झाला।
वर्तमान में यान क्लोज लूप गाइडेंस के अंतर्गत है।
Second stage performance normal.
तो गाइस
यान की
आदित्य एल1
ऊंचाई 106 किलोमीटर तथा सापेक्ष गति 3 किलोमीटर
गाइस
प्रति सेकंड।
106 किलोमीटर आदित्य एल1 पास केलेला आहे।
The velocity addition in PS2 regime is going to be from 2 kilometers per second to 4.9 kilometers per second.
Payload fairing separated.
गणपती बाप्पा मोरया।
The payload fairing covering the Aditya L1 spacecraft has been separated. The current altitude of the launch vehicle is 118 kilometers. Relative velocity exceeding 3.8 kilometers per second.
यान अब घने वातावरण से बाहर जा चुका है, इसलिए ऊष्मा कवच की जरूरत नहीं रह जाती है और इस कारण इसे यान से पृथक कर दिया जाता है।
Second stage performance normal.
द्वितीय चरण वर्तमान में प्रणव को उत्पन्न करता हुआ और यान पूरी तरह सामान्य प्रदर्शन करता हुआ अपने अनुमानित पथ की ओर बढ़ रहा है।
Second stage separated. Third stage ignited.
द्वितीय चरण को भी सफलतापूर्वक यान से पृथक कर दिया गया है उसके प्रज्वलन काल समाप्त होने पर।
Normal.
और तृतीय चरण जो कि ठोस नोदक पर आधारित चरण है, इसका प्रज्वलन शुरू हो चुका है।
We are close to 5 minutes past the launch time. Presently, the third stage of PS3 is operational, developing nominal thrust.
Plus 5 minutes.
आदित्य एल1
तृतीय चरण में 7.6 टन के ठोस नोदक का प्रयोग होता है और इसका प्रज्वलन काल 117.7 सेकंड का होगा। इस दौरान यह 240 किलो न्यूटन का प्रणोद उत्पन्न करेगा। वर्तमान में यान की ऊंचाई 134 किलोमीटर तथा सापेक्ष गति 5.96 किलोमीटर प्रति सेकंड।